What's up, everybody? Can you guys hear me? Let me do a test. Let me see if I can get somebody to let me know if they can see me. Give me 1 second, you all. All right, so I can see myself. So that's good. All right, so I can see myself. So that's good. All right, so I can see myself. So that's good. It's my first time doing this, so bear with me. All right, you all. It's my first time doing it live, but I'm gonna get the hang of this. All right, let me go ahead and get started. You might hear my dog in the background, so you know he's a little sad tonight. All right, so pretty much this is my first time doing a live review. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll get better as time goes on. So tonight we're talking about Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to be on here long. I'm tired, but I do want to get this review out the way. I'm trying to do this more frequently, and I'm also trying to do more lives. So, like I said, I'll get the hang of it. Hopefully, by the time SmackDown gets here, I'll get the hang of it. I work on computers, so it's no reason why I shouldn't know how to do this stuff. All right, so tonight, pretty much, it's Monday Night Raw. The show opens up with WWE champion Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. They come out to the ring. They're in Philly tonight. Philly is a interesting crowd because Philly will let you know if they like you or not. Philly will also be dead silent like they were tonight during a lot of matches. So, I feel like Philly is definitely a sports city. So as Paul and Brock are entering the ring, we go backstage to see Cedric and Shelton backstage, and they're talking to um they walk up to Bobby Lashley and MVP, and pretty much they're like, we're so glad the Hurt Business is back together. We're here to help you out and things of that nature. I still to this day don't understand why they broke the Hurt Business up. Um, they have maybe one or two factions, if that. Um, Maybe more. I'm not. You got the Bloodline. Wait, actually, I think that's it. I think it's just the Bloodline. Um, so they come out and they're talking to Bobby, and Bobby's like, "Nah, like we not doing that. I'm good on my own. I don't need you all, and I'm good." And it makes me wonder: are they going to do something with Shelton and Cedric because they definitely need more tag teams, or are they going to release them soon because they do get in the habit of having somebody on screen time and not doing nothing with them, and then like a couple days later they're all of a sudden doing mass releases, which is the wrong time to do mass release right now because we have the Royal Rumble coming up, and as we can see with the women's division, we have to go out to different companies and go get legends to fill the Royal Rumble up. Um, so Paul Heyman and Brock they do their whole spiel about um, the Royal Rumble. Well, they're about to do this, spill about the Royal Rumble. And then all of a sudden the music hit and Bobby Lashley comes out. So this is what everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting to see Brock and Bobby face to face. Paul and MVP face to face in the same ring. This is what we've been waiting for. I know this is what I've been waiting for. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is money. It's time. And what we got out of it, I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't enough for me. I really didn't need to see Brock or Bobby talking. I really wanted to see Paul and MVP interacting with each other because those two men are geniuses on the microphone. So I thought that would have really been something. But we still have time, so who knows? Who knows where they'll go if they do something with them too. And pretty much getting the ring, and Bobby's like, you've been ducking me for 20 years. I've been wanting this match with you for the longest time, and everybody knows how Bobby's felt about that. And I said this before. I think I said this last Monday. Why have they not interacted with each other? Why have they not? And all these they've been in. And forgive me if I get this wrong, but I know they've been in the WWE together, and I feel like they've been in the same MMA like arenas and areas together. So it's interesting that they have not interacted with each other. However, um, you know, Bobby goes on to say, I'm going to kick your ass pretty much. And Brock was pretty much giving a rundown, like, I never heard of you. I don't know who you are. He does a knock knock joke, like, knock knock, who's there? Bobby. Bobby who? And he goes, exactly. The crowd loves it. Brock definitely owned this segment. And it's interesting because it's like, where do we go? Is Bobby going to get the championship or is Brock going to keep the title? I want Brock to lose. I don't think we need to have a unification match. I just don't think it's going to be any different. It's not going to make the company any better or less better. Sorry, y'all. That's my dog kicking my stand. I don't think that's going to be any better or less better. It was okay. It was an okay segment. Like I said, it was Brock is entertaining. I've said this before. He's entertaining. He's great. I never understood why they waited so long to let him have this role. Um, yeah, he's good, but mm, it was an okay segment. It was okay. As Brock is leaving the ring, Shelton and Benjamin, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander enters the ring and they jump Bobby from behind, and Bobby pretty much kicks the ass and then keeps it moving. So again, it goes back to what I just said. Are we going to do something with these two guys or not? Because first of all, it's too much talent in them for them to be not seen on TV the way they should be. I mean, we're getting segments with Reggie and Dana Brooke and almost why when we could get these guys in some matches. They Lord knows they need the help in the division. Um, so as we move on today, we move up next to the tag team Raw title match against RKO and Alpha Academy. And I was saying this last week: is Alpha Academy going to get a title shot? Are they going to get the titles because they did beat the champions last week? Which doesn't really mean anything in this company because they love to have their champions lose because they don't make their titles feel important like they used to. Um, and this match is pretty much about, is Randy going to get the hot tag? Everybody loves Randy Orton, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. I always look at Randy Orton as a bad guy, though. I don't really ever see him as a good guy. I think he's just a bad guy that we love, and we're probably never going to boo him. But yeah, I like Randy Orton. So to me, um, Randy's doing some of his best work. I've seen Randy at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. He was great. His match with AJ Styles, it's Randy Orton. You can't go wrong there. So the match was a great match. It was a really, really good match. The crowd was really into it. Once Randy got the tag, the crowd was like, I think that was the loudest the crowd was tonight. I think, yeah, between that match and the main event, I think that's the loudest the crowd was the entire night. So that lets you know that y'all got to do better with your product. You got to do better with your product, with your match setup, with who's getting time, who's not getting time, who you're building, who you're not building. So pretty much, Randy gets the hot tag. He does a lot of back and forth with him and Chad Gable. Again, Chad Gable's great. You can't go wrong with him. They do a top rope move, and then um, some more interference between Otis and Orton and Riddle on the outside. Otis actually gets back on the ring. He gets the tag. And Randy was going for RKO on Gable. Orton get he was going to go for it on Otis. Next thing you know, Otis hits his finishing move, and we have new tag team champions. I was shocked. I didn't think they ever was going to give old boy Gable and Otis a title, because when Otis was with Tucker, they didn't do anything with they did stuff with him, but they didn't do anything with the tag team itself. I didn't think they were ever going to give them a title. So I was happy about that, but I'm also interested in where do they go and how long do they keep the titles before the Street Profits ultimately get the titles. Um, and what do we do with Randy and Riddle? Do we keep them going as a team? I know they're going to enter the Rumble. I mean, it's not like Randy not to enter the Rumble. And I know Randy's going to have a match at WrestleMania, but is the match going to be against um, Riddle? I think it needs to be. We thought back in SummerSlam it was going to happen, but it didn't. Which I'm glad it didn't, because it gave us more time to be invested in them as a team. So when they do break up, ultimately Randy's going to look like the bad guy. Even though I think Riddle should turn on Randy, but Randy's just he's just a bad guy. Everybody's always going to see him as a bad guy. So it's just interesting to see where they're going to go. Next, backstage, we have Damian Priest. He entered himself in a Rumble. Again, like I keep saying, I get sick of them always entering themselves in a Rumble and letting us know. Like, just come out. Just let your music hit and let us be like, oh, cool, that's so-and-so. Oh, I didn't think they was going to be here, blah, blah. But if you tell us, then it's like we have nobody to look forward to. And also, I don't like when champions enter the Rumble, because you already have a championship. Like, cherish the championship you got and build that championship that you have, instead of trying to focus on the next thing. Focus on what you have and then make that something. The Intercontinental title and the U.S. title feel like nothing. They feel like throwaway titles. Make those titles feel like something. Mind you, over on SmackDown, Shinsuke is out for a couple months. So he didn't do anything, and then he has an injury. Well, where did he get the injury from? Because he hasn't been wrestling. So where did he get the injury from? Anyway, I'll say that for Friday's show. Um, so Damian Priest has a 6-man tag match with Damian Priest and the Street Profits versus Apollo Crews, Robert Dolph, and Robert Roode. Okay, it was a pointless match. It was an okay, decent match, but it was pointless to me. So now we're putting Robert and Dolph back into a tag team again. I don't know. It was okay match. After a package of what happened on Friday at SmackDown, they have a match. After what happened on Friday at SmackDown, they do like a highlight package, and Seth Rollins comes out, and Seth Rollins is a number one contender for Roman's title on SmackDown, but Seth is a Raw guy who just had a match at day one for the WWE Championship that Brock Lesnar won, and then all of a sudden, and then he lost the Fatal 4-Way for the number one contendership, and then he's thrown into a number one contendership for the Universal title. Did we not? I know we don't have anybody else, but you couldn't find anybody else. All the guys you got, you couldn't find anybody else. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. And then it's like, what if Seth wins? So all that work you guys put into Roman, you're just going to give it to Seth? Well, you could have gave it to somebody like a Ricochet, a Keith Lee, a Tommaso Ciampa, a Pete Dunne. I really can see them giving Seth the title. That's the crazy thing. I really can see them giving Seth the titles. I like Seth. Seth is great in the ring. You're always going to get a great match out of him. But yeah, I don't know. And then Big E comes out, and I like Big E, but I like him when he's in a tag team. I'm not really feeling this gimmick of Big E by himself. I thought I was going to like it. They gave him new music with Wale, and I like Wale, but I just don't. I don't see him as a solo star. I thought it was, but he doesn't give you the same essence that Kofi gives you. It just, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what it is. It's just weird to me. He pretty much comes out and lets Seth know, I'm entering the Rumble. So when you win the title, blah, 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 I want to face you at WrestleMania. Nobody wants to see that match. They didn't want to see it tonight. We don't want to see it at WrestleMania. The crowd was not into it at all. It was a good match. It's just that nobody wants to see it because we've seen it so many times that what like. And then of course Seth was not going to lose because he's going against Roman at what 2 or 3 weeks from now. So I don't know. I don't know. Seth with all of Roman's power. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. The question is though, what does Seth do at WrestleMania? Because I know they're not going to have him miss WrestleMania. So what does he do? I don't know. I don't want to see him versus Kevin Owens. Um, maybe I don't know. Maybe Seth and Finn. Maybe Seth and AJ. I don't know if we ever seen that match. I'm sure we have, but I don't remember it. Um, I don't know. I don't know what we do there. After that, they do a recap of all the women that's well about 18 or 19 women that's going to be in the Rumble for coming up in a couple weeks, and then Nikki Trash and Nikki and Rhea Ripley come out, and Rhea pretty much wants to break the team up, and I'm so excited. Break the team up, move on. The shit is trash. There is no division. There's two tag teams in the women division. Two. So all y'all doing is trading titles back and forth. It's stupid. We don't need like throw the titles away. What you should have did was the original plan, which was to have the titles go to all three brands. So the title was going to go from SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. That way, it would have been real competition because you could have had teams in all three brands. But then you kept the titles on the main brand and then made another tag team for the women in NXT. And I don't watch NXT no more, so I can't tell you what they're doing with it. But I'm sure they don't have any tag teams down there either. So the titles is trash. So that's that. Um, Rhea breaks the team up. Rhea goes for a handshake. They go for a hug, and then Nikki attacks her. I feel like if you're not turning Nikki heel and sending her back to Nikki Cross when she was good, then there was no reason for her to attack Rhea. Yeah, that's that. If not, then if what you going to release her? Like, what are you going to do? You released her husband or whatever. So I don't know this. And then we have a segment, 24/7 segment and almost segment. I'm not going over that because they're both trash. Next, Edge comes out and he does his show, Edge, the Cutting Edge, with his special guest, Beth Phoenix. And I like Beth Phoenix. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I really think Beth Phoenix will be a great addition to the women. I think she could have one last run. I think that she should really consider it. Edge consider it. He's having a great run. I mean, I think this is some of Edge's best work since he has been retired. So I think Beth could really add a lot to this division. I said it before and I'll say it again. I think after Rumble, I think she should really, think about it. If she's interested, I think she should really think about it. They pretty much do a package on how Beth is a beast. And like I've said this before too, Beth was ahead of her time. She was part of the Divas division where they weren't really allowing the women to do what they needed to do to be, excuse me, y'all, the dog just keep touching stuff, to be the way that the way that she needs to be. This is the perfect division for her. So the women now will equal the strength that she has. So I just think that she will really, really get some great matches out of these women now. And then the Miz comes out and he's doing his thing with Maurice. And I thought about something because the Miz used to be on the Real World and they're doing a whole Real World like reunion. And I wonder if he'll come back for the reunion. Like I've been watching Real World Homecoming from 92 or 3, whatever the second Real World was, whenever that took place, that's on now. And it's been great. It's been like must see TV if you guys want to watch something else. Must see TV. So I wonder if WWE will allow Miz to go back and do something like that. I think that'd be really cool, especially where he was and how he has really came from that and turned this into something, and how nobody took it seriously. So I think that'd be really cool. But anyway, so he goes on and he ups his wife, which is he's supposed to do. Maurice, Maurice is a beautiful woman and she definitely can dress her ass off, but the sis ain't getting it. She ain't winning that match. I don't see her getting no real offense in unless, of course, they gotta make it seem like she can, but she ain't gonna get no real offense in. So I think, I think it's gonna be an okay match. Um, it was a funny segment because he was saying like, Maurice basically let her know what you're gonna do, to let her know you're gonna fuck her up and this and that, blah blah blah. And then he turns around and Maurice is gone because she don't want that smoke, she don't want that problems. Maurice do not want those issues. So um it'll be interesting. Again, like I said, I think Beth should think about giving us another run in the company. I think that would be great. Next, we have a segment, or a match, I should say, with AJ Styles and Austin Theory. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time they wrestled each other, at least on live TV. So that was really cool. I like Austin Theory. I really can see them pushing him, and he's really going to do something major in this company. Um, AJ Styles is great. He's a phenomenal one. You outside of Almost or whatever, you're not going to get a bad AJ Styles match. So that was good to see them go together. And then all of a sudden, Grayson Wilder from NXT 2.0 interfered in the match because they have a match tomorrow. But I'm like, why would you have him interfere in the match that was going fine, and then a match that nobody's going to like? Nobody's turning into NXT to see that. Like, you guys shouldn't have took NXT from Triple H. It's as simple as that. He was doing just fine with it. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Let's get this out the way. Let's get Edge and Miz out the way. And let's focus on building up AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania. You are trying to fill 100,000 seats. In my opinion, the way to fill 100,000 seats is to get some major matches. And one of those major matches could be Edge versus Finn Balor. Edge and Finn, but Edge versus AJ Styles. They have history from the Rumble. 2 years ago. Let them continue that history and keep it moving. I think it'd be a great match. Give these guys a good 15 minutes, and I think they, will come out. I don't really care who's win because they neither one of them is gonna, a win is a win for either one of them. So it doesn't matter who wins. I think it'll just be great. I'm not sure how many matches Edge has left on his contract, but I hope that's one of them. I really hope so. And if it is, you guys heard it here first. Then they do a segment with Alexa Bliss, and she's pretty much talking to her therapist, and she still has like that fiend kind of character. I guess she's trying to transition from, and they're trying to figure out what the problem is or whatever. I just want her to come back as regular Alexa Bliss. She doesn't need to come back as a fiend character. People hated it, especially when they released him. Let's get, we don't need it. Let's get rid of it. Like, just have her come back as regular Alexa Bliss and just put her back in the women's division. We don't need any special effects. We don't need that Lily bullshit. We don't need to see we don't need to see any of it because it was dumb. After that, we come back from commercial break, and all of a sudden Becky Lynch is in the ring. I call her Cringe Lynch because she is cringy now. And I'm like, what the fuck does she have on? Like, she had like these gold MC Hammer pants on, and like this coat and shirt, and her hair was stupid. Like, looks stupid as shit. The main event took place. This is when the crowd came back alive. It was Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Doudrop. And it was a really, really good match. Bianca just that girl. Like, Bianca just that girl. Like, Black Girl Magic, Bianca just that girl. So I definitely, she definitely helped that match because it wasn't going to be, if she wasn't involved, it wasn't going to be nothing to it. She showed off her strength. She did a lot of moves. She broke up some counts. She did like a 450 onto Doudrop as Doudrop was going for the pin. So that was pretty good. She did a spine buster on her and then did her finisher on Liv, one of her finishers on Liv Morgan. And as she's going for the 3 count, Becky Lynch jumps in and breaks up the count and then attacks Bianca from the outside, which leads to Doudrop winning the match. And Becky tried to attack Doudrop, but nothing really took place. First of all, we know Doudrop's not getting the title, so we know that. And she even did a segment where she was like, Bianca and Liv, all they did was cry, this and that. And I'm like, Bianca put the work in. You ain't put the work in. Bianca put the work in last year to get to where she's at, to get to that main event spot. She put the work in. You didn't. So keep hush. The main event, not the main event. The match at WrestleMania is going to be Bianca versus Becky. What else should it be? It shouldn't be anything else. Ronda's not coming back anytime soon. We don't need to see Asuka. If it's not Bianca, then it'd probably be Rhea. but it needs to be Bianca and Becky, and Bianca needs to get her title back, and then we can move on from there. Um, that was Monday Night Raw. It was a much better show than SmackDown, but it's still Monday Night Raw. You're only going to get so much out of the show, and I don't know. It's hard to be a wrestling fan sometimes. You want so much, and it's like I can book better matches on my game, on my 2K game than I can with the company. But I don't know. It's difficult to be a fan, but I do I do look forward to WrestleMania because I do want to see if they're going to give Naomi. I mean, not WrestleMania, excuse me. I do look forward to the Royal Rumble because I want to see if they're going to give Naomi the Royal Rumble win. And I also want to see the match between Brock and Bobby, and I hope they continue to build up. I think the only two good parts of the show was the main event and the opening. Outside of it was a decent show for it to be 3 hours, much better than last week. But it just has a lot of work to be done. It just has a lot of work to be done, and who knows how long it's gonna take for that to happen. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. This is my live. I'll try to get it right next time. I'm using StreamYard, as you guys can see, so this is my first time using it. I had it all set up perfectly, and I couldn't see myself, so I got nervous. But I'll continue to do this, and you guys look out and like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to build my followers up. I'm trying to build my subscriber account up. Trying to get some comments, get some feedback. So it's much appreciated. Thank you for the ones who are watching and the ones who will be watching. And again, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys enjoy the rest of your night. See you.